Right, what we're going to do next is an elaboration of an earlier exercise we did. I showed you how to draw an octagon and then how to create the unicursal octalfa within that octagon. Unicursal octalfa is an octagram, an 8-pointed star, where we can essentially start at one point, work our way around without lifting the pencil from the paper, then come back to our starting point. We did a single line octagram. Now we're going to do something a little different. It's going to be a little more elaborate. And this was one of the signatures of the Masonic fraternity, and the ancient builders oftentimes used octalfas or octagrams as important symbols representing their work. And this is a really beautiful exercise. And we'll just get started here. I'm going to draw a horizontal axis, and on this axis I'm going to mark what will become the center point of my construction, and then I'll mark off equidistant on either side. In fact, I'll go ahead while I'm there and I'm going to draw a circle, and then I'm going to erect a perpendicular, and I'm going to go outside the circle just so I don't clutter up my drawing, because the whole exercise that I'm going to be doing is going to be within this circle. Okay, so now I have my circle. It's been divided into 4. Next thing I want to do is to create the 8-sided figure, the 8-sided polygon. And all we need to do is bisect the angle, which I've shown you how to do. And at those points of intersection, we can work off those back to the center of the drawing, and that gives us the octagon. Now within that octagon I want to draw my octalfa. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, working our way around. And now I could draw a variety of interesting figures, but the one I'm going to draw is a classic version of this one, where we skip 2 vertices of the octagon to make our star. And you will see here as I work my way around, skipping 2 each time. Right, there's my 8-pointed star, and of course, as you see, there's also a star inside, or rather an octagon inside. It's a smaller version of the outer one, which we could actually, if I wanted to connect 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc. on the way around, I would get my octagon, but that's not what I'm really interested in doing right here. So now what I want to do is I'm going to draw a second circle on this thing. And it can be somewhat arbitrary for now. Later we can see that there might be a key proportion that would be most effective to use, but for now let's just draw this second circle around like this. And from there, what we've done now is we're going to basically do exactly what we did in the first part of the process. We're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as the corners of our new octalfa that we're going to draw inside. So I'll start right here, and I will make my first line to here. See what I did? Okay, I'm going to make my second line here. I'll skip 2, my third one, go to here, And I'm kind of drawing more, again, for speed rather than accuracy. I hope that when you draw this, you really take the time to line up your points and get it really accurate. But I think you can see what's happening here. There, now we come back to our starting point. Next thing I'd like to do is add the dimensionality to this, because what we're striving for here is essentially the idea that we are looking at an over-under relationship, kind of we're weaving each of these sides of the octalfa over and under to get this three-dimensional effect. So to get that, what we do is we're going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. That's going to be the mantra that we use here. We'll start by going over. So we'll imagine that we're following this path. This becomes like a bridge that's going over this pathway here, this roadway. And it's going over, so we're not going to see the roadway underneath it, so we erase that right there. Get it? Okay, so we've gone over. Now the next one, we're going to go under. So what we want to do is erase this right here, because we're going under. The next one we're going over, so once again, we erase this. Then we're going under, so we erase that. And we're working our way around. We've gone under. Let's remove this. Since we went under, the next one will be over. And then it'll be under. Then when we get to this one, we're going to be over. Like that. And then we're going to be under. You get the technique? Is it making sense to you? So we went under, follow this round. The next one will go over, then under, then over. And you can see right here, we're going under this one. We've already done that one. Follow it around, and this next one is going to go over, under, over. Here we're going under. And we'll be going over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Clean this up, and I think that gets it. Oh, let's see, what did we do here? Let's see, this is under, over, under. This should be under, over. Okay, I think we've got it. So now I'm going to carefully darken this in. It's going to look something like this. And then of course you can add a little shading to it if you want to give it a little more sense of depth. You can play around with it. And here's where you can let your artistic side go. This is what we call the Unicursal octalfa. So in other words, if this was a roadway, even though it is a little bit MC-escher-ish, we could start here at vertex 1. We'd go over the bridge, under the bridge, over the bridge, under, working our way around like this, and we would eventually come back to our starting point. And of course you've got another octagon in the middle. So if you want to get really elaborate, you could do some things with that. You could go ahead and enclose it in a circle if you want. You know, whatever you feel like. After you've been doing this left brain work, it's nice to kind of just let go and have fun with it and get kind of artistic. So there we go. That is the Unicursal octalfa.